Hey folks, JTag here from Mandolin Deep Cuts. This is the YouTube channel where I try and trick you into playing weird tunes on your mandolin. It's working so far, don't laugh. Today's tune is gonna be Mozart's favorite waltz, or his Valse favorite. Turns out this isn't actually a waltz because there's a problem. Waltzes weren't really around in Mozart's time, but he did pen this tune. He did write this. It actually started out as one of his German dances, and then some editors, about 100 years later, thought that they could repurpose and repackage an old Mozart tune and sell it to a waltz-obsessed world. Turns out they were right. So we will today get more info on that story. We'll hear this tune and we'll learn how to play it. With that said, engage. That's my best Jean-Luc Picard. Sorry. I haven't yet mentioned him on this channel before, but Mozart was one of the most extraordinary composers in all of history. Born in Austria in 1756, he began composing at age 5 and then performed internationally shortly thereafter. Over the next 3 decades, he produced more than 600 works, including symphonies, operas, concertos, chamber music that still define his era. Despite his genius, he was famously terrible with money and died young at 35 under somewhat mysterious circumstances. In his lifetime, it wasn't the waltz, but the minuet that ruled the ballroom. The smoother spinning waltz style wouldn't take over Vienna until after Mozart was gone. Speaking of waltzes, this piece is entitled Valse favorite, so let's explore a little more about them. I found a lot of conflicting information while researching this, but here's the gist. The waltz is a dance in 3/4 time, and its name comes from the German word waltzen, meaning to spin or to roll. That's pretty fitting because spinning is exactly what dancers do, because when you dance a waltz, partners hold each other close, which at the time was scandalous. Early waltzers were considered lowbrow or even indecent, something for peasants rather than polite society. But when waltzes finally swept across Europe, they completely changed dance culture. I'm also not a musicologist, so please excuse if I get any of these details wrong. I tried hard to fact check this, folks. Mozart himself wrote many German and country dances intended to be popular music. While German dances are in 3/4 time, they're not waltzes. His German dances specifically had a lighter, more formal feel, a kind of early cousin to the waltz. This specific tune is the first dance in his 6 German dances, listed as K606 in the Mozart catalog. While this tune is not listed as a waltz originally, it was relabeled as one after Mozart's death, I believe by a man named Charles Grobe, who also added a number of variations on the melody. Other people have too. What I have for you today is kind of many of those variations and the waltzification all smushed together. What we're learning is essentially a mandolin arrangement of a waltzification of a Mozart tune, which is kind of wild. It's an incredibly common beginner tune on piano. We are just playing the right hand, essentially. I've also included a few links to examples to watch and listen to in the show notes. This piece is in the key of G. It's in 3/4 time, although I found a version in B flat major and C major. I've copied the slurs from an old violin arrangement that I found, but don't be super concerned about slurs on mandolin, as they tend to mean different things to different people. There's a natural groove that happens with the waltz if you take it in 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3. But about halfway, there's a fun picking pattern that kind of crops up with a nice pedal tone on D. That's the variations kicking in. Have fun with them. I love this juxtaposition that eventually reverses itself and brings it home to that waltz feel. There is 1 or 2 difficult measures where it's got this G and D on the 5th fret that's got this uncomfortable jump. Maybe it's just me. It could be easier for you. Who knows? But either way, I believe in you. Let's listen to the tune. So for the tune itself, learning it, we have essentially 4 different sections. There is a 5th, but it is just a repeat of the first section, right? So let's hear that first section. Let's hear it nice and slow, right? Nice. We do have a pickup. We have 3 pickups here, right? And we have a staccato followed by a slur of that F sharp to a G, right? That's how I would interpret that. But these slurs are not written for mandolin, and slurs on mandolin in general are funky, right? So you can turn most of these slurs into hammer-ons and pull-offs. It does increase the difficulty on this. And I don't know if you get a lot of noticeable gain. Play with it, see if you can spot the difference. I will say you can always start this off with a G chord as well. And you'll get a little bit of ring. And there's some nice places where you can just let the underlying G ring if you just kind of scrape it a bit. Here you can do 2-4-5 if you're wanting a full chord, right? That's gonna give you A, F sharp, and F. That's a 4-5 or 2-4-5, or you could just do as written, just that 4-5. I arranged that. I put that in there myself. It just sounds easy and nice for the mando. You do what makes you happy. We can swell with this, right? We're in 3-4. We got a waltz feel. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. It's pretty. It's pretty, folks. Let's go to the B section. Starts off with 3 more pickups, all staccato, which means short, right? I like to downpick them. Kind of gives it a nice feel. You don't have to. Do what makes you happy. Let's play this slow. Good stuff. Yeah, there's not anything too crazy here. I do like to do that to really emphasize one of those. Really get into it, right? And then we're back to our main phrase. Yeah, I do like to just get that nice double stop in the middle of that third to last measure in that phrase. Yeah, well, it's nice. Moving on to the C section, folks. We've got some more notes starting us off, some more pickups. They are once more staccatoed. And we got this, we could do a feel change here, right? You could do a couple things. Let's do it slow. It's a nice variation. You'll basically see that we are hitting that D over and over again. Don't miss the notes the way I did. But there's also some fun to be had here. So we can do this normal. And we could do... And that's going to make it have a slightly different feel. We're going to repeat this, right? So we could do one the first time and a different one the second time. Yeah, I don't know. I just really enjoy that. Cool. Let's play it from the top down to here, just to have a good time. Sounds fun. On to the hard part, honestly. We get this D. It's this descending chromatic line. And it does say increase in volume. We got a nice crescendo marking, right? Start off quiet. Right? Oh, it's so fun. And then it's all the way back again, right? Yeah. It's fun to do. It's fun to play. I will say I find this measure difficult. Yeah, I just got kind of some Shrek hands, not necessarily big, just fat. For this chromatic line, I tend to use my middle finger for the C sharp and the C, if that helps you. And then we get to the hard part, right? Kind of try to roll it forward. Yeah, and that's the same line from the first variation, or the C part. Nice. And then we're going to end up with the main phrase again. Yeah. So that is the tune, basically, folks. We're going to play the whole thing through, I think a little bit slow, and yeah. Delightful. Hope this was a fun tune for you to learn. That's the whole tune, folks. Thank you so much for sticking around. I sincerely appreciate it. Check me out on mando.studio. Join my mailing list if you want to review tunes early for me. I am making lots of sheet music. I need people to catch errors. You get free sheet music early. Why not? You can find me on Bandcamp and Patreon, Spotify, all that stuff. Get in touch if you're having a good time. Let me know tunes you think I should take a look at. Godspeed, do good things. Call your mom. Bye.